Have you ever made a decision that felt completely yours, only to realize later that someone else had been making it for you all along? What if I told you that almost every day, invisible rules shape what you wear, what you say, who you admire, what you fear, and even who you become, without you ever noticing? The strange part? Nobody teaches you these rules. Nobody writes them down. And yet, almost everyone follows them. The people who recognize these silent rules gain an advantage that others never even realize exists. So today, we're going to expose them. Because once you see these invisible rules, you can never unsee them. Imagine a child walking into a classroom for the first time. Nobody hands them a list of social rules. No teacher says, don't be too different. No one says, hide your weird ideas. No one says, fit in if you want people to like you. Yet somehow, within a few months, the child learns all of them. Not because someone explained them, because humans are experts at reading invisible signals. A laugh, a strange look, a compliment, an awkward silence. Your brain collects these moments like hidden instructions. Without realizing it, you begin writing a rulebook inside your own mind. If people laugh when I speak, stay quiet. If they praise me, do more of that. If I stand out, maybe that's dangerous. And before you even become an adult, most of your behavior is already being controlled by rules you never consciously chose. Here's the first silent rule. People don't fear failure nearly as much as they fear social rejection. Think about that. Most people won't wear the clothes they actually like. They won't share the business idea they've been thinking about. They won't ask someone out. They won't speak honestly in a meeting, not because they're afraid of failing, but because they're afraid of looking foolish. Psychologists have found that social rejection activates many of the same brain regions as physical pain. Your brain literally treats exclusion like an injury. Thousands of years ago, this made perfect sense. Being rejected by your tribe often meant death. Today, the tribe has changed. Now it's coworkers, classmates, friends, followers, family. But your brain still reacts the same way. So every day, you quietly edit yourself. Not because you're weak, because your brain is ancient. Now here's something even stranger. Most people think they're making independent choices, but try this experiment. Walk into a crowded elevator, face the back wall instead of the door. You'll instantly feel uncomfortable. Why? There's no law against it, no punishment, no danger, only an invisible rule. And suddenly you realize how much of your behavior exists simply because everyone else does it. This is called social proof. When we don't know what's correct, we copy the crowd. Usually that's useful. If everyone runs out of a building, you probably should too. But social proof doesn't stop in emergencies. It quietly enters your entire life. What career should you choose? Look around. What phone should you buy? Look around. How successful should you be by 30? Look around. Without realizing it, other people become the measuring stick for your own life. Here's the problem. The crowd isn't always right. Sometimes, the crowd is simply loud. Now, let's talk about a rule that silently steals years from people's lives. The rule says, wait until you're ready. Sounds responsible, doesn't it? But think about your own life. How many opportunities have disappeared while you were preparing? The perfect time rarely arrives. Confidence rarely arrives first. Action usually creates confidence, not the other way around. Every expert you admire once felt unqualified. Every speaker once feared speaking. Every entrepreneur once doubted themselves. The difference wasn't certainty. The difference was movement. Now, here's another invisible rule. People believe busy equals important. Have you noticed? Someone asks how you're doing, and the proudest answer has become, so busy. Somehow exhaustion became status. Rest became guilt. Free time became laziness. But ask yourself this, if being constantly busy truly created happiness, why are so many exhausted people still unhappy? Busyness often feels productive, but movement isn't always progress. Running faster on the wrong road only gets you lost sooner. Here's another rule that's hiding in plain sight. People care far less about you than you think. At first, that sounds depressing. It's actually incredibly freeing. Remember that embarrassing thing you did 3 years ago? You still think about it. Almost nobody else remembers. Everyone is starring in their own movie. They're too busy worrying about themselves to spend much time thinking about you. Psychologists call this the spotlight effect. We dramatically overestimate how much attention others pay to us. Your mistakes feel enormous because you're watching them from the inside. Everyone else is barely watching at all. Imagine how different your life would be if you truly believed that. How many opportunities would you finally take? How many conversations would you start? How many dreams would stop waiting? Now here's perhaps the most dangerous silent rule of all. If everyone believes it, it must be true. History proves otherwise. Entire societies have believed things that later turned out to be completely wrong. Popularity has never guaranteed truth. Just because an opinion is common doesn't make it correct. Learning to question accepted ideas isn't rebellion, it's responsibility. The people who change the world almost always begin with one uncomfortable question. What if everyone is wrong? But there's one final rule, and this one controls almost everything. Your identity follows your repeated actions. Most people think they act based on who they are. Reality often works in reverse. You become what you repeatedly do. Every small promise you keep teaches your brain. I'm someone who finishes. Every promise you break whispers. I'm someone who quits. Your brain is constantly collecting evidence about who you are, not from your thoughts, from your actions. Identity isn't something you discover, it's something you build, one choice at a time. So here's the question. If invisible rules shape the person you've become, what happens when you start choosing your own? What if the limits you've accepted were never real? What if the fears you've obeyed were inherited? What if the life you've been chasing was designed by expectations that were never yours? Most people spend their entire lives following silent rules they never agreed to. The rare few stop, look around, and ask a dangerous question. Who wrote these rules? Because the moment you start asking that question, you're no longer living someone else's life. You're finally beginning to live your own. And maybe the most powerful freedom isn't breaking the rules everyone can see. It's escaping the ones nobody ever told you existed.